Ghosts, spirits, poltergeists, demons. Do they exist? Is there life after life? Are there unseen entities around us? Can they communicate? Do you believe? What happens in the shadows doesn't always stay in the shadows. Live from Northwest Georgia, covering the region and beyond, this is Georgia Paranormal Radio. And now, here is your host, Mike Watkins.
Good evening. Welcome to another edition of Georgia Paranormal Radio. This is your host, Mike Watkins, and I am glad that you've joined us tonight because we have a pretty exciting show for you. We're going to be introducing a new feature on the show tonight that I haven't tried before, so we'll see if we can get that to work, and appreciate you being patient with me while I get the kinks worked out of the program here and try to do this so that everyone will enjoy it. I've had a busy week this week. Whew, it's some of you know what's been going on. I actually took a vacation from my day job this week to do some ghost hunting, and well, it's been a pretty interesting week. We had the anniversary of the Battle of Chickamauga this week, and even though we were rained out on Monday night, which was kind of a preliminary battle setup kind of thing. The actual fighting didn't really start until the 19th and the 20th, which would have been Tuesday and Wednesday. We were going to go up to the battlefield Monday and just see what we could find. But we got rained out, so it gave me a chance to do some work on our website and on the message boards, and I think it went pretty well. As many of you have noticed, we've updated the message board quite a bit, and it really needed a little bit of an overhaul to it. We've changed the color scheme, the layout, and the style to more accurately reflect the way our home website looks, and I think it better reflects our group and our mentality and the way we operate. And I've only really had one negative, well, we won't call it negative, we'll call it a neutral comment, and that's been that the old design was a little spookier, and it was a little spookier, but this design, like I say, it better reflects our group and our website, and I think it looks pretty good. If you hadn't been by there to check it out in the last 2 or 3 days, sure encourage you to do so, because it looks pretty good, if I do say so myself. So just go by there, and you can post a little message on there. Tell me what you think, or whether you like the old style better or whatever. But I think it looks pretty good. So I guess I'm a little biased since I'm the one who did it. So just let me know what you think about the message board. We've also kind of moved into another area this week as far as the internet goes. And that is doing some sales of some items off of our website. Now, the actual page on the website is still what we call beta right now. It's there if you know how to get to it, but I haven't actually made it very easy to get to right now while I'm working on some bugs, working the kinks out. But the gist of what we're going to be doing is and it's already been rolled out with the book that's on the front page of the website, Ghost Hunters of the South by Alan Brown, which we talked about last week. But we're going to have a whole page now to where we can sell books by like Alan Brown, other great ghost authors, or paranormal subject authors, I should say. They're not ghost authors. That would be kind of interesting. But we'll be able to sell books by other paranormal writers, and Amazon.com is who we've affiliated ourselves with, and they also have a good opportunity to sell equipment. Yeah, equipment. So if you need any ghost hunting equipment, EMF meters, digital thermometers, walkie-talkies, any of the other good ghost hunting equipment, even digital voice recorders for recording EVP, well, you can certainly get them off of our website. And I'll be taking that page out of beta probably within the next 2 or 3 days, at the very latest a week. I would figure to have it back online, or have it online completely by, we'll say by next Wednesday. It'll be up and running, if not by the end of this week. So that's something to look forward to. And you may say, well, I can get a better price on eBay, or I can do this, I can do that. Well, that's probably, that's possible. You may find a similar item at a little better price on eBay. But these things that we're going to be selling through Amazon are, number one, brand new. Some folks don't like to buy used merchandise. Now, I personally, it doesn't matter to me either way. But these items are brand new. They have the warranties on them through the manufacturer. And the other perk is that, hey, we get a little commission off of it. If you buy it through our website, we get a 3 or 4% commission off your sale. So it's a little income coming in to help the team out. And that will go towards team supplies and getting permits to sleep over at certain battlefields where they require you to have permits. I think we all know where I'm talking about. So that's a good incentive for you to shop our online store, and that'll be available, like I say, within the next 2 or 3 days, maybe within a week at the latest. So just be looking for that. And another thing we have coming up here, it's about a month away, and that's our team meeting. And that'll be October the 21st, 2006, 7 p.m. Don't know exactly where we're going to have it yet. I hadn't hammered that out. Need to get with the senior staff and figure out where they're wanting to have the meeting at this time. I'm leaning towards Chickamauga or Fort Oglethorpe. That all depends on when Chickamauga is having their annual Ghost Walk this year. If they're having it on that night, we may just have the meeting after the Ghost Walk. We may go down and participate in the Ghost Walk, and then have our little meeting there and somewhere in Chickamauga. There's a lot of good restaurants down there in downtown Chickamauga. It's a little hometown area, and we may just do that, depending on when they're having their Ghost Walk. Another thing that we're considering is having a Ghost Walk here in Lafayette next year. Now, there's no time to get one together for this year, but Lafayette's a pretty interesting old town, and she saw some Civil War action herself. Not as much as Chickamauga, obviously, but there's some history here in Lafayette, and a lot of haunted places just on Main Street and one street back. And we could certainly, if there's enough interest, get a Ghost Walk together here in Lafayette. And so if you have any feedback on that, well, just let me know. It's not a maybe kind of thing. You either like the idea or you hate the idea. So just shoot me an email or post it on the message board and say, hey, good idea, or hey, you're stupid. Either way, just let me know. But that's something we've been thinking about doing for a while, and it's beginning to feel like the time would be right to start preparing for it. They say you have to prepare for these haunted history tours well in advance and get your facts straight and get all the clearances that you need. So that's something you folks would be interested in for 2007. Just let me know, and the team and I will start working on it. And with all that being said, we have a lot to cover in this show. We got some more team business to cover, and then we have some more exciting stuff to cover. But we're going to go ahead and get a commercial break out of the way, and we have 2 commercials in this program, even though we're probably going to run a little long, but hey, it don't matter. We can run as long as we want to. So we're going to go ahead and get a commercial break out of the way, and just sit back, or you don't even have to sit back. Go get you a drink of water, a cup of coffee, and come right back, and I'll see you on the other side of the break. In 2006, the number of people in the United States was an estimated 299 million, and approximately 205 million of those people were online. Now let's suppose that just 1%, or 2 million of those people, listen to internet radio or podcasts.
Let's further suppose that just 1% of that 1% are interested in the paranormal and listen to this program. That would be 20,000 listeners or potential customers hearing about your product, service, or website on every broadcast. The Northwest Georgia Paranormal Investigation Team and Georgia Paranormal Radio are homegrown organizations with a regional and now worldwide footprint. Trust us to promote your product, service, or website just like it was our own. Your success is our success. With rates at only $5 a month, guaranteed exposure on every broadcast, and no long-term commitments if you aren't completely satisfied, you can't go wrong. Can you afford not to advertise with us? For further information, email Mike Watkins at mike@nwgapit.com.
All right, welcome back from the break, everybody. Appreciate you sticking with me through the little break there. And like the good sponsor there says, if you want to get on here and want to be a sponsor of this show, well, just contact me, Mike Watkins, and I'll be happy to set you up. Our rates are very, very reasonable, and we're reaching a pretty good audience right now. To just be our third or fourth podcast, we're doing really well. So if you need any advertising done, well, just get in touch with me, and I'll certainly hook you up. All right, for just a little bit longer, we're going to talk about some internal team business here, and it's a little boring, I know, but especially for those of you that's not on the team. But if we get past this, we'll get into the meat of the program, and I think it'll be worth you twiddling your thumbs through to hear the rest of the program. So, for those team members out there that have been wondering about when are we going to order shirts, when's the next order for shirts coming up, well, right now. I would like to have the order completed and sent off soon. I'm going to get the email out tonight, and for those of you that want to order a shirt, due to a situation that we had, I guess it was last month, where the person had actually ordered 2 shirts and has since been removed from the team. I was about out the money for ordering those 2 shirts. Fortune just smiled on me, and I kind of delayed and drug my feet, and it paid off. So what we're going to do is, for those of you that want to order shirts, I'm going to send out an email tonight, which is Thursday night, to the team, and we're going to say they're going to be $15. If there are any more, I'll make it up out of my pocket. If there are any less, I'll refund you the difference. They're $15, and if you want to order one, tell me where you'd like to meet at, and I will take your money in advance, and I'll send the money off once everybody's got their order in, and we'll get our shirts in that way. And that way I'm not out anything, and you'll be guaranteed to get your shirt. Okay? So that issue is settled, I hope. And we were talking about a situation where a member was removed. It always pains me to have to do that. I try to treat this team like part of my family, and I really care about the team members that we have, and they're friends, and they're more than friends. I mean, they're people that you trust to go into dark rooms with you and them and maybe just one other person, and you trust that they're not gonna do something to get you killed or make you run out and kill yourself trying to get away from them. So you really have to have a trust with your team members, and I do. I trust my team a lot, and it really pains me whenever we have to take action to sanction or terminate a team member. But the reason that was, and I'm not going to get into all the specifics of it, but if you want to read why, the reason why the person was terminated from the team was due to our bylaws in Article 4, Section 4, Subsection E, which says, very simply, All members will act in a safe and professional manner at all times. Now, that's a very small sentence to cover such a broad category. Safety, we have all got to do anyway. That involves, not taking unnecessary risks, acting responsibly, not only for yourself, but your fellow team members that are there with you. But professionalism was the main reason. And we're all grown-ups, and we should know how to act professional. I'm not saying we can't cut up, we can't have a good time, we can't be friends, but there's a limit, and we all need to be professional. We need to carry ourselves in a professional manner. We need to act like ladies and gentlemen, and not like we're in the 3rd grade. Okay? So that being said, that'll put to rest all the questions about, is this person gone? Yes, they are. Why is this person gone? Well, that's the reason. They were not professional. Okay? And as boring as it is, and trust me, I had to type them out, they are boring. I would encourage everyone to read over the bylaws. There's, it tells about what you can expect from the team and what the team expects from you, and all that good stuff. It is boring, so if you can't sleep one night and you want something to put you to sleep, log on to the bylaws page and read it, because it will put you to sleep. They're not as long as they originally were. There's a lot of the stuff that was redundant and was edited out. So it's a little better, but they're still boring, folks, let me tell you. But anyway, if you have the time and want to read over them, go to the bylaws page, and there's some good information in there. It's kind of a get you started kind of information thing. And so anyway, we'll move off of that rather neutral / negative jazz, and we're going to talk about some positive news, and that is our member Dale Bearden. He's been with us since June, and I'm announcing right now that he is off of probation. His 90-day probationary period is up, and he is off of probation. Dale actually came out, and we'll talk about this here in a little bit, but Dale actually came out both nights that I was up in Chickamauga at the battlefield, and he was my investigation partner up there. And Dale, I appreciate you coming out, because I was going to have to violate the rules of the group and investigate by myself, but I couldn't let the opportunity pass by with the anniversary of the battlefield, our battle going on. So Dale, I appreciate you coming out, and Dale's really improved his knowledge and his technique, and I'm proud to have him on the team. So Dale, I just appreciate you, and also Sue and Betty, their 90-day probationary period's up, so they are full members also. They came to a training exercise up in the Chickamauga battlefield last month, and they're really eager to learn and work with us. So I'm glad to have them, and so congratulations, you guys. The 90 days of me eyeballing you funny are over. As if I ever eyeballed you funny, but anyway, congratulations to those folks. They've been with us now for 90 days, and they're really eager to learn, and they're doing a good job, and I just appreciate them. And that's all the team news and business that I have to talk about. So there's only really one little thing left to talk about, and Lord, I don't know if anybody even wants to hear about the investigation down at the prison and what we got over at the Chickamauga battlefield the 2 days we were there. I guess maybe y'all do want to hear about that, so we'll let you hear about that in just a minute after our last commercial break. So stick with me.
Do you have strange feelings while in your home or business? Do you hear unexplained noises or see something moving out of the corner of your eye, only to investigate and find nothing? Does your home or business have a history of paranormal or unexplained events? If you answered yes to any of these questions, the Northwest Georgia Paranormal Investigation Team is ready to assist you. The Northwest Georgia Paranormal Investigation Team is a well-established and respected scientific paranormal research group. They adhere to strict non-metaphysical protocols to ensure that all evidence collected is valid and of the highest quality. Trust an established team to research and document your paranormal activity, then educate and empower you, the living. For more information, membership inquiries, or to request an investigation, visit us online at www.nwgapit.com or contact Mike Watkins at mike@nwgapit.com. The Northwest Georgia Paranormal Investigation Team. We investigate what you fear.
All right, welcome back. Appreciate you making it through that commercial break. And folks, if you're getting tired of hearing the same old commercial over and over again, then you know what you can do about that, right? Well, yeah, you could quit listening, but no, I was talking about the other thing of get us a sponsor. Hey, maybe your paranormal group would like to sponsor us for a month, and then we can talk about you for a month. How about that? But anyway, I appreciate you making it through that break with us, and now I guess we'll get on to the investigation talk, and I'm playing it down, but I know that's probably what everybody's tuning in for, so I'll quit dragging it out, and we'll talk first about the investigation that I was fortunate enough to be invited on, which was down at the old Floyd County Prison, and the good folks from GPI and the Southeast Society for Paranormal Research, Dan and Terry and Ron actually wasn't there, and I hope you're feeling better, Ron, by the way. But Dan and Terry, I was invited down and got to go into the old prison and investigate with those good folks. And all I can say is, wow. It was a good investigation, and Dan, you run a good team there, buddy. I was proud to have met you. I was proud to work with you, and you do run a good team there. You got a lot of good members, and that's a good location that you've got access to. Didn't really have a lot happen while I was in. I did have something that was really unusual for me, and I'm not a very emotional person on an investigation. I'm not very emotional at all on an investigation. Matter of fact, I'm usually pretty well closed off. But inside that prison, inside of one of those cell blocks, I walked into, it was just like walking into a cloud. And the feeling that I got while I was there, I took a step, and just all of a sudden, it's like somebody flipped a switch, and I was just angry, and it was a confusing sort of anger, and then I walked out of it, and it was gone, and it was just like a flash of emotion. Now, a lot of people at other investigations have talked about experiencing that phenomenon, kind of an emotional transference. But I have never experienced it until then, and I have to say, I don't know that I want to experience it again. It's a pretty powerful emotion, and I guess I need to be protected better. But anyway, that was about the only thing that I had. No apparitions. I didn't get pushed down or anything. I was kind of hoping I would, as strange as that sounds. But I did get 2 EVPs while I was in there. I went in 2 rotations. The first time I was in there, I guess, for 30-35 minutes. And I went in with a group, Tim and I can't remember the young lady's name. I want to say Melissa. And then for the second time that I went in with Terry and Kevin, and I can't remember the other fellow's name. Was in for about 45 minutes, but I got 1 EVP each time, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to play those EVPs for you right now, and I'll loop it. I'll play one, I'll loop it a couple of times or 3 times so you can hear it, and then I'll play the other one, okay? So here we go with the first EVP I got, the first round that I was in there. And here we go. Okay, now that was that EVP is very clear, and we'll get into the classification system of EVPs later on. But that was a very, very clear a Class A EVP, and it obviously says I'm scared. And this was gotten in a cell block. I believe it was one of the upper cell blocks. I think it was in 2, to be honest with you. It may have been it was either 1 or 2, obviously. But I think he was in 2. And he says, I'm scared. And that's a very clear, very good EVP. And the second EVP was on my second trip in. And I'm going to go ahead and play that for you right now. And then we'll discuss it a little.
Oh, it's very good. Oh, it's very good. Oh, it's very good.
Okay, now that was gotten around I believe a laboratory area there towards the back of the block where the toilets are, and it obviously it's kind of a low class A or an upper class B, and again we'll get into that classification system on a later time. Later show, but it obviously says something excellent. It's like, excellent. So that's pretty interesting. That was the only evidence that I got out of the prison. I know Terry had got some more distinctive EVP on his recorder whenever he and I had went in, but I was kind of on the what side he was on, I was on the other side recording. In the same room, of course, but those cell blocks are fairly large, and so, there was 20, 30 feet between us. So sometimes I guess I could catch something he couldn't, and he could catch things I couldn't, just depending on where the activity was at. But all in all, again, I want to thank Dan and Terry and Ron for having me down to the Floyd County Prison. It's a very active place. It's a very good place, and you guys have some great team members, and you run a good team there, Dan. And I just appreciated the opportunity to get to go in and experience that. And you folks that are down Atlanta way, you need to look Dan up. He runs a pretty good team, and hope to be able to return the favor to him and invite him up on a big investigation that we have one day. And with that being said, we're gonna move on from the prison, and we're gonna talk about Chickamauga. And Chickamauga Battlefield has always been a very active place. The problem that I have had at Chickamauga has been nighttime access. I mean, due to people being stupid and vandalizing monuments and breaking into cars and doing other things that we're not going to discuss on a family radio show. They've pretty well eliminated people being there at night. And you can't really blame them. You can, but you can't. I mean, it is the federal government. God love them. And whether I'm a fan of them or not, it's irrelevant. But they've eliminated people being there at night. So we just have to deal with that. We have to move on, and we just have to do what we're going to do with a little bit of daylight. And it really shortens the time that we can be there. It gives us a very small window. But nonetheless, during the battle anniversary, on the 19th, myself and Dale and his daughter were on Battle Line Road, and I actually captured 3 EVPs on Battle Line Road. This was in the daylight, folks, broad daylight. So for those of you that think that you can only ghost hunt at night, wrong. It may be better at night, it may be spookier at night, and it may be easier for them to manifest at night. But you can get some good evidence in the daylight. And these 2 days were perfect temperature-wise, perfect weather-wise. It was great days. We could have had some better magnetic fields, but I'm not complaining. We got, like I said, we got 3 EVPs from the first day there in Chickamauga on Battle Line Road. We went there, and then we went to John Ingram's grave, which surprisingly to me, we didn't capture any EVP around John Ingram's grave, and it's normally a very active spot. And we also went out to Brock Field and didn't capture anything, but we had a fun time out there on the first night. And 2 of the EVPs that I captured were rather unintelligible. I mean, you can make it out if you listen to it long enough, but it may be audio matrixing. But the one I'm going to play for you right now is a very good Class A EVP, and well, you'll hear what it says, and then I'll talk about it. So here's the EVP from the first day at the Chickamauga battlefield. Okay, so you can see that this voice just is butting in, and it says hi, and that's not my voice, and it's not the voice of Dale, and there was nobody else there with us saying hi. So that was a pretty clear EVP, and that's with no computer enhancement at all. And that's really the only good solid evidence I got, or that we got on the first day of the battlefield investigation. And so we went back the next night, and following the battle, we switched sides on the park, and we're on the west side on Snodgrass Hill. Now, Snodgrass Hill is either famous or infamous, however you want to describe it, but the place has got some activity. You can't deny that Snodgrass Hill has some activity. And we were there, and I guess I got there about 5:30, and we started investigating about 6, and there were a lot of people around for a while, so we took our recorders out into the field and got away from everybody, and pretty well after everybody left, it was getting close to dusk, and we went back to the cabin and tried to talk to whomever was there. And I believe I've got 2 or 3 EVP from there also, with 2 of them are low Class Bs. Actually, one of them's a low Class B, one of them's a Class C. It's there, but you can't make it out at all. But I did manage to capture 1 Class A. It's a low Class A EVP with no computer enhancement, and I'll go ahead and play that for you, and we'll talk about it.
And by the way, if a fellow's still in there that spoke for me a couple of weeks or a month or so ago, still obliged to you, buddy.
Thank you.
And by the way, if a fellow's still in there that spoke for me a couple of weeks or a month or so ago, still obliged to you, buddy.
Thank you.
And by the way, if a fellow's still in there that spoke for me a couple of weeks or a month or so ago, still obliged to you, buddy.
Thank you.
Okay, so, and what I'm referring to is, and we were there probably about a month or so ago for a training exercise, and I had left the recorder on the opposite side of the cabin, and there was nobody there on that side of the cabin. We were all kind of gathered around the cabin. We had been interrupted by a ranger who was talking to us. And so nobody was around the cabin. It had been raining that night, and nobody was out, just us and the ranger. And I kept getting interrupted by someone who was there, a team member, and this person that was inside the cabin had a very deep, gravelly voice. Had said, well, he took up for me, And I'm not going to repeat what he said because this is a family radio show, and it was not a very nice thing that this person said. And it wasn't me, and it wasn't any of the males that were there, because there were only 3 men there, and we were on the opposite side of the cabin. And anyway, so I was thanking this voice, this person in the cabin, for at least being kind enough to take up for me when he saw I was kind of frustrated that night. And so obviously, whenever I told him I appreciated it, you heard the reply. So, and that was pretty good. You know, that shows some intelligence there. It shows it's not just a residual haunting. And one of the other EVPs I have that's very unintelligible, and it wouldn't really broadcast well, but I'll play it for you at the meetings, or if somebody wants to hear it, I can send it to them and they can listen to it. But it has the exact same voice in it as an EVP that David Westbrooks, my operations manager, had captured on Snodgrass Hill several months ago. It's the same voice. Now this one, you can hardly make out what it's saying, but you can tell it's the same voice. And that puts chills down my spine to think that the exact same thing is still there, and it's still talking. And next year we're going to have it even better at the Chickamauga Battlefield, though, because we're going to get a permit. And I'm not going to have to worry about people coming up and driving up and being around the cabin and interrupting us and all that good stuff, because we are sleeping the night. Well, we're not sleeping. We are spending the night on Snodgrass Hill. Hopefully during the battle anniversary. If not, it'll be a day or two before, or something, as when it's convenient for everybody. But we're going to spend the night on Snodgrass Hill, and that should be interesting. And I've got my ducks in a row now for who I need to talk to and who I need to get the permit from. So we're gonna be there, and it's gonna be great. So that was the investigation synopsis of everything I've been doing this week, investigation wise. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but any of you that go out and investigate know that, you know, travel time to location, setup time, evidence review time, it's monstrous. You know, basically for every hour that you're out, that's another hour to an hour and a half you're going to have to spend reviewing evidence. So, you know, that's why it's been such a busy week, and that's why there's been a delay on getting this program out, because I have been listening to EVP until my ears are numb. So, but and speaking of EVP, and something for you to tune into next week, we are planning an EVP special, and I'm going to bring in my EVP specialist, who is my operations manager, David Westbrooks. I'm going to have a co-host next week, and we are going to talk about EVP and EVP, and then probably talk about some more EVP, because that's David is really good when it comes to EVPs and getting them out, and the entities, spirits, whatever you want to call them, really seem to enjoy talking to David. Me, they don't like. Couldn't tell you why. Well, probably I know why, but they don't like me so much. So we're going to talk to David next week, and that'll probably be a really good show. It might run a little long too, but hey, that's what the bandwidth's for. So we'll handle that. So that's something for you to look forward to next week, and I'll get with David, and we'll sit down and record a good program for you. If you have any questions that you want answered about EVP, email them to myself or David. You can email them to Mike at nwgapit.com or David at nwgapit.com. And we'll get your question on here and get it answered. And if David can't answer it, then, well, I'm pretty sure I can't answer it if David can. If it's about EVP, I'm pretty sure. If he doesn't know it, then I probably don't. But we'll get it answered for you. But needless to say, we'll get it answered for you. And if you have any feedback about this program, or want to do some advertising, or want me to shut up and quit having the program, whatever, You can give us feedback. You can either do that through the updated message board system, which is a good way to do it. There's a category on there for Georgia Paranormal Radio. Or you can email me at Mike, M-I-K-E, at nwgapit.com. And I'd love to hear your feedback, whether it's good, bad, indifferent, or anything. So just give me a yell. Tell me what you like about this. Tell me what you don't like about it. It's not going to change unless you tell me. If you don't like something, you need to spit it out. Or it may change, and it may be changing something that you really like about the program if you don't tell me. So you need to let me know what you think about it. And lastly this week, I've been those of you that have been following the program, you know that the outro music, that's the music that I play at the end of the program. It's called an outro, O-U-T-R-O. And this week I have some special outro music, and I'm gonna make it kind of a challenge for you. This is a song. There are 5 men in this song, and if anybody can tell me who those 5 men are, I will give you. Well, I don't have anything to give you. You'll have my deepest respect, and I'll give you kudos on the air next week if you can tell me who these 5 men are. And to make it easier for you, I'm gonna give you a hint. And if you can recognize one voice, then you should be able to make it so. And that's a huge hint. And the other hint, well, no, I'm not going to give you another hint. So just listen to the outro music, and there's 5 men in there, and I will give you another hint. They were all on the same show. Yeah, all on the same show. And if you can recognize one voice, you'll be able to make it so. Alright, so tell me who the outro music is. Send me an email or post it on the message board, and I'll give you kudos on the next program. Alright, I appreciate you joining me, and we'll see you back here, or actually hopefully we'll have you back here next week, and we'll have a good program for you, the EVP special. And have a safe night.
Be sure it's true when you say I love you. It's a sin to tell a lie. Millions of hearts have been broken just because these words were spoken. I love you, yes I do, I love you. If you break my heart, I'll die. So be sure that it's true when you say I love you. It's a sin to tell a lie.
Be sure it's true when you say I love you, darling. Because you know it's a terrible sin to tell a lie. So many, oh so many hearts have been broken. And all because these words were spoken.
I love you, yes I do, I love you. If you break my heart, I'll die. So be sure It's a sin to tell.